What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. I'm out here with my dogs and waiting on them to get finished doing their business. Seems like they're always on their own schedule. Come out here to sightsee. Think they're better than me. That's the problem. They're walking around thinking, you think you're better than me, Caesar? Don't look that way. You're not better than me. Anyway, I just saw something that was so horrific, so mind-boggling, so heinous that I could barely watch, but yet I couldn't turn away. I watched a woman get beat up by a man for like 3 minutes straight and nobody did nothing. Nobody stopped it. There was no social justice warriors coming out of nowhere. There was no feminists, no Me Too movement. And I'm thinking, where are they? Where's all the Democrats? Where is all of the social justice warriors that are constantly walking around looking for victims? Because you know how they are. They're like, what? Is that a victim? Is somebody offended? All right, then. Okay, I'm just checking. Yeah, constantly looking for reasons to get mad. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't anybody say anything about this? Why I have to have somebody send me an article and allow me to pull up the video to watch this woman get beat to the point where he cracked her skull? Well, I figured it out. Nobody talked about it because, see, it didn't fall into the category of all of their purposes, their social justice movements, because it kind of divided the camp. Now, what am I talking about? This MMA fighter, all right, who looked like a man because she is a man, gets in the ring with this woman and beats her up and cracks her skull. Now I'm watching this. This dude got a full mount on top of this girl. Looks like he outweighs her by about 15 pounds. He's ripped up, muscles everywhere. She's in a fetal position and he's just pounding on top of her head and her head's bleeding and he ends up cracking her skull. Okay. And nobody said anything. Okay. Now, of course, me watching this, I cannot suspend my knowledge. I cannot suspend my logic, my reasoning. When I look at this, I see a full-blown man with long hair and muscles beating up a woman. I wanted to jump in the ring and beat this dude up. How you gonna get in the ring and beat up a woman and feel good about that? I just don't understand that. And I'm thinking to myself, this is where identity politics goes too far. This is when social justice goes too far and it becomes counterproductive. It starts vetting all of these different little groups against each other. Now, what am I talking about? You got one group of people out there that's saying everybody is allowed to pick their own gender neutrality. And if you're against this, then you're some type of xenophobe or whatever they call us. But then you got another group that are feminists that's out there saying toxic masculinity and men should respect women and all of this stuff, and men should never put their hands on women and all that, which is cool. Men shouldn't put their hands on women because they're men. Usually men are stronger than women. Usually because of our testosterone, it allows us to be a little more physical. But yet, for some reason, we're supposed to suspend all of that biology, all of that science, to think that just because this man in his mind thinks that he's a female, he jumps in the ring because he can't get in there with the boys and fight, so he gets in the ring and beats up a woman. It's no different than all of these boys that are thinking they're women out there running track. It's not fair to the women. The last track meet, it was first and second, which was two men that think they're women, beat these girls. And you should have saw the girls, their face, the whole time they're like, man, this is some bull crap, but I can't say nothing about it because they'll attack me, And then come to find out, and this is where it goes too far, y'all, just found out that there is a transgender man who's in a female prison facility because he was arrested for child, I think, molestation. And yet he said, I'm a female. So they transferred him to a female prison facility. And then he ends up sexually abusing some women in there, did something to him. And I'm thinking, see, that's what you get. That's what you get, social justice warriors, when you start saying, let's make an excuse for everything. Let's just go ahead and let anything go. Long as somebody can conjure it up in their imagination, let's not challenge it. Let's not even let logic, science, or anything rebut it. Let's just say you don't have the right to tell people who, you can't just, move them out of existence. See, that's what they say. When you say you're either a man or a woman, and then they say, well, no, I'm neither. So you're trying to erase me from existence? Nobody's trying to do that. Nobody's trying to erase you from existence. What we're trying to do is make you operate within reality, meaning I am either a man or a woman. I might be a woman who wants to dress and act like a man, but I'm still a woman. Or I might be a man who wants to dress and act like a woman, but I'm still a man. You're not the opposite sex. Just own that. Just say, you know what? I realize what I am, but I'm choosing to live as something else. Versus, this is what I am, and I'm forced to live as this. See, identity politics. So now you send this man to a female prison, and he's in there attacking or abusing female inmates. And when does it stop? That's my question. So now, if I was legislation, if I was, I would say, you know what? How about this? How about the feminists and all of the people who support gender neutrality? Why don't y'all get together and fight it out? Because on one end, you got a group that's saying you should be able to pick whatever gender you are. Then you got another group that's saying we should fight for women's rights, which you should. And part of that would be saying, hey, dude, you can't get in the ring and beat up a girl like that. I mean, why don't we just take away male and female sports altogether and see how far females will advance in athletics when they have to compete against men? This is where we're at, people. This is what it comes. Caesar, do you understand what's going on in society? The white dog of privilege? See, Caesar ain't out here talking about some ruff, ruff. You got bass in your voice. Caesar know he's a male dog, okay? This is ridiculous. Why every other species recognizes the difference between male and female, and in humans, which are supposed to be the smartest on the planet, we seem to no longer know. We're going, I mean, it could go either way. I heard someone say a long time ago, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. Somebody said, do you think that the insurance company should pay for gender reassignment? And a psychiatrist said, no, not at all. And the lady was like, what? Really? I mean, don't you think that's a little bit harsh? And he says, no. If anything, they should be treated for some type of, dysphoria or mental disability, because they, in their mind, are believing something that is not the reality. He said it would be no different than somebody who is anorexic, and in their mind, they're fat, but in reality, they're not. You don't treat them by saying, yeah, you need to lose a little bit more weight. Let me encourage you, sticking your finger down your throat and throwing up. Let me encourage you going on a crash diet. No, you don't do that. You say, you know what, you look fine, but in your mind, you think you're fat. It's no difference than a person who says, you know what, when I look in the mirror, I see a female, but all of my anatomy says that I'm a man. So why would you treat somebody by saying, well, let me give you a gender reassignment? You should say, well, look, how about this? Let's get you to a point where you accept the reality of you being whatever gender you are, but yet you choose to live your life as a different gender. That right there would not combat with science, wouldn't combat with society. It wouldn't force a lot of people walking around to pretend that there's a possibility that we don't know the difference between men and women. It could go either way. Flip the coin or just pick something out of the sky. Ridiculous. So there we have it. Now we got men beating up women legally, okay, because people want to be social justice warriors and they won't say nothing about this now. See, do that in the streets. All of a sudden, I can't believe this man just beat up a woman. But yet, because you want to justify gender neutrality and let him get in the ring and beat somebody up, because on the inside he feels like a female. Ridiculous. He needs to be fighting men and watch him drop to the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, wouldn't even be in the top 2,000 or 3,000. Anyway, God bless you. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter. Check me out Wednesday nights in Kevin's Corner, live radio, blog, talk show. I'm also going to go live on YouTube too. So check that out, my super chat. Want to give a shout out. Extreme Tees, y'all. Bam! How you like that right there? Extreme Tees, my sponsor. They got all types of paraphernalia. The link's in the bottom. Please check them out. Go to their website and look at their the categories. They got all kind of clothes. And if you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, you can do that. There's links in the bottom to do that as well. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.